Welcome back. This is segment 3 for the week. We're on week 1, week 2, not week 1. Week 2, which is 1 Nephi chapters 1 through 7, and we're going to focus in this segment on Ishmael and his family. One question to be pondering and thinking about with this particular part of the scriptures is why Ishmael? Why would they go after Ishmael and his family? So let's think about that. We'll talk a little bit about it as we go. Catherine?
Okay, so the Lord in a vision tells Lehi that they need to go get Ishmael so they don't just die off. Because what would be the point of going to the wilderness if they're just going to die off?
Why would they die off?
Well, if they don't have children, what would be the point?
Okay, good.
So they don't murmur this time.
They don't murmur.
They go.
Why not, Joseph?
Well, if I had the prospect of possibly being alone the rest of my life and then I find out I get to have a wife, that would be, pretty exciting.
You'd like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think that most people would agree with you. All right, so they go to Ishmael's house. What happens at Ishmael's house?
So they tell them their journey so far, getting the plates, and they gain favor in the sight of Ishmael, and the Lord softens their heart.
Okay, so they tell them what's going on, and the Lord softens their hearts, and
They ask them to go with them into the wilderness.
what did they say?
They said yes.
They said yes. Okay, so one of the things to note here is that Ishmael has enough daughters for Laman, Lemuel, Sam, Nephi, and
And
Zoram. He's got 5 daughters. Do you think that the Lord just suddenly thought, hey, they're alone, should we send Ishmael? Do you think that was like a last minute thought on the Lord's part?
No.
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 No, the Lord prepares for our lives. When we talk about Joseph Smith, Brigham Young said that his line was watched over through the history of the world. And so you can take from that the Lord's watching over you too. He watched over Lehi's family. He sent daughters to Ishmael's family that would be sufficient to have wives for these young men so that they could have a new nation on this promised land. And it is a promised land. And if they're righteous, what happens? They prosper. And so the Lord really was setting up their courtship, their betrothal, so that they would have the proper wives. And betrothal is a beautiful, beautiful system for marriage and for finding, putting our families together. And this is what we have here. So they head off into the wilderness. Lehi has a patriarchal order. Ishmael has a patriarchal order. They seem to be in sufficiently good shape that the children are willing to follow and go into the wilderness. Tell us about their journey in the wilderness, Catherine.
So they're on their way back to Lehi, Sariah, and Zoram. And Laman and Lemuel, 2 of the daughters and 2 of the sons of Ishmael, want to go back. And Nephi, he's sad.
Yeah.
These are his brothers-in-laws and sisters-in-laws. And so he tells them, he warns them what will happen if they go back.
Right. And the brothers are like, oh, all right, Nephi, you're right. We'll keep going down backward. What are you laughing at?
No.
Are you laughing at me too, Edward? Me? Okay, tell the real story. Oh
They get mad.
dear.
And they're so mad that they tie Nephi up and leave him to be devoured by wild beasts.
Wow. That's pretty angry. So what happens with Nephi? What does he do?
So he prays to the Lord, and he asks because of his faith that he might burst the bands. And when he says these words, the bands are loosed.
Wow. That's a miracle. That's a miracle. So the bands are loosed, he's free, he what?
goes back to where they were, and they're ready to tie him back up again.
Wow. How come they didn't?
Because the wife of Ishmael and the daughter, and one of the sons of Ishmael, plea before Laman and Lemuel, but they won't.
Right. And
Their hearts are softened, and they fall before Nephi and ask for forgiveness.
how does Nephi respond to that?
He says he frankly forgives them,
Yeah.
meaning no grudges at all.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? I did frankly forgive them. Emma, how do you think you'd feel about somebody who tied you up? Say that again?
I would be a little mad.
You'd be a little mad? Do you think you'd be able to frankly forgive? You are probably my most forgiving child. Would you think that you could just say, all right, I forgive you, let's keep on going?
I think so.
You think so? Would it be easy or hard?
It would be hard.
It would be hard. So, he frankly forgives them. They head down to the wilderness with their father, and he offers sacrifice and gives thanks. This is a pattern, this worshiping of the Lord. For them, worship included sacrifice. We don't worship that way anymore, but they worshiped the Lord, they gave thanks. And of course, great joy to have them bow back together again. We talked a little bit in segment 1, about conversion. When Nephi and his brothers shared what the Lord wanted them to do, it seems like everyone agrees to go. So there's some amount of testimony there, right? But what do you figure from watching what happens in the wilderness, Marinda? How do you feel about whether or not they're converted?
They're definitely not converted. I think there's enough order that they're like, okay, we'll go. But they're not really converted to what they're doing.
Right. And of course, Laman and Lemuel show that they still don't have a Are you laughing again?
Well, here's the weird part, like, they're always not converted and they're always doing these rash decisions. I always think about what would have happened if Nephi didn't burst the bands. Like, oh, Nephi got, he's lost.
What they would have said to Levi. That would be a hard report to make, I think. I think you're right. That would be very difficult. Fortunately, the Lord really does have a plan. And I think that might be a part of what made Lehi, or Nephi, able to be so forgiving, is he had taken the time to pray. He had taken the time to find out from the Lord that this really was where they were supposed to go. So he had a conversion to what they were doing. And conversion and faith in the Lord, because you remember when he prayed in faith. That's why the Lord loosed the bands. Conversion and faith in the Lord allow us to have a more positive approach to how life goes. To be able to say, wow, this is really rough, but I know where we're supposed to go. So I know somewhere in this the Lord has a plan to make this work out. That would make forgiveness, I think, easier. He loves his family. He loves his brothers. And so that, I think, would make forgiveness easier. But it is a true lesson in forgiveness. And he forgives them over and over and over again. Oops, spoiler alert. But I think that's it for this video today. Thank you for watching. And Catherine, what would you like to tell everybody at home?
Well, don't forget to watch the videos the church is putting out.
Okay, yep, watch those videos. This one is particularly good.
Yep. And if you like the video and want to see more, hit subscribe. And if you like the videos, push the plus button.
Give us a thumbs up.
Yep.
This is this video. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel. That gives you notifications of future videos. We're going to do this every week all year. Can we do it?
Yep.
We can do it. All right. Thank you for watching.